Yeah, we are good to go. And hello, all, and welcome to Power Dose 2 from the Power Packed Week by MBB, that is MBA Beyond Books. Today, we have with us a very special guest. I think it would be wrong on my part to call him a guest. We have with us Priyank Ahuja, who spoke to us specifically in the beginning that he wants to join the community both as a mentor as well as a member because he believes that knowledge is something which one should acquire at every point of time. Interacting with young minds is incredibly great, and getting new ideas is something he really believes in. We have Priyank Ahuja, who's an alumnus of the famed Indian School of Business, as well as currently a product manager at Accenture, one of the biggest companies in the world. Furthermore, he has previous experiences. I've been as a product manager and a project manager, and he will have some great insights to share with all you all. And something about him that I might have missed, I give it to him to complete that. Any any other thing if you'd like to add?
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Vishesh, for coming me. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So welcome everyone. Welcome everyone for joining this call. So today I will be taking care of the session of the product manager. And let me introduce myself first. So my name is Priyanka Ahuja. This is my career timeline. So I did my BTech from JP Institute of Information Technology in Noida. I passed out in 2007. Then I got placement in Nokia, which is a telecom giant at that time, and I worked there for around 2 years as a performance specialist, taking care of the telecom projects for multiple, you can say, GSM service providers. Then I moved to ZTE, the Chinese company, for around a couple of months, and I was handling the role of a project leader at that time. And in just 2 years, I became the team lead there. And after that, I joined the Vodafone, which is India's best service provider in 2009. And I worked around 6.5 years there. And I got, you can say, exposure of multiple roles, like you can say team lead for handling network operations. Then I moved to the IT security there, handling the disaster management, and then moved to the product marketing in Vodafone. Before leaving Vodafone, I realized that this industry will not grow further. So I took a chance to move into the different industry. So after gaining 8.5 years of experience, so directly I jumped to the IT industry. Although it's very difficult, but still I able to manage that. And when I joined TCS in 2016, I was handling the role of a pre-sale consultant, taking care of global clients like Optus Australia, AT&T US, Safaricom Kenya, as well as Vodafone UK projects, and also taking care of the IT projects as well for the banking and financial sector. Then I realized that I have to do MBA now because I want to move into the, you can say, leadership role. So I applied for the ISB, and luckily I got the admission there. And then I did my executive MBA with, you can say, major as strategy and leadership, and then my specialization was marketing and finance. Once I graduated from ISB, I got offer for joining as Accenture, and I joined as a product manager there. And I am in Accenture since last year right now. And with ISB, I was also a part of the career advancement courses. I was elected by, you can say, university and student community. And I also was responsible to organize the case competitions and speaker sessions for the ISB community. So that was my short round of introduction. And let me tell you more about myself as well. So usually in my leisure time, I used to give my mentorship sessions to, you can say, young student community leaders so that they should be able to find out the right career path in their journey so that they will not take any repent or, you can say, feel regret after, you can say, later, you can say at other point of time. Because most of the younger generation are not aware what skills they have, what they want to do in their life, and they don't know what career prospects are there in the future and what is waiting for them in the future. So that's why in my leisure time, I used to associate with multiple agencies, and I also got a chance to associate with MBBA as well, because I like their mission, their motto to help the student probably as well as the working professional, so that they can utilize their learning, whatever they gain in the books, in their, you can say, MBA studies. So that was my motive to associate with the MBBA as a mentor as well as a community member.
Thank you so much, Priyank, for
So let's
adding
start.
such lovely words. And we know that you have an amazing session, and as well as more of the presentation planned for everybody. But before we go ahead, we could probably ask anybody that if they have any idea about project management or product management, which you are a specialist in, and accordingly we can take this forward.
Absolutely. So because there is a misconception between all the students as well as working professional, that we have heard the word about product manager or project manager, so as well as program manager also. So what is the basic difference between these three confusing words? So any idea? Do you want to contribute here? Guys, make sure you should make this session as very, very interactive. So you are open to participate.
Good evening, sir. If I
Yeah, good evening.
so according to me, so project management is mostly like the requirements are already set in by the clients, and like you already meet the clients, and the clients tells you the requirements, and you don't have to do the discovery part. What exactly do you have to build? And in product management, it's mostly about like you have to like understand what the customer wants and understand its needs and what are the pain points, and then like you have to like come up with a solution for those pain points, and then like try to build and like try to solve those pain points, and then like after solving it, like try to implement it and then launch it. So that is,
You can say handling, taking care of the delivery part. Means you have the requirement given by the client, and you have to convert this requirement into a physical product or a solution. Okay, that's the role of the project manager. Means you have to focus on only one project, which is a temporary activity which you need to undertake for the client, and a specific timeline will be given to you. But entire homework will be given, done by the client. You have to start with the given requirement. Whereas product manager is basically started working from one step behind the requirements. Means they will start with the user experience team and marketing research team, so that they will get the requirement. They should know what product they have to build up. Once they get the requirement, then they will deal with the project manager to get it go live, and then once it is launched, then you need to deal with the business development team, so that you can correlate with the sales, marketing, supply chain, so that this product which you have created, it should be approachable to the end customer, and they can generate value back to the client. So you can say product manager is a very bigger and broader role as compared to the project. Let me explain in more detail with the help of the USF presentation, so that you can have a better clarity. In order to understand the role of a product manager and what is product management is all about, let's have a fair understanding about the journey of a product. Just like every human being is having their own life cycle. We born on some day and we die on some day. Similarly, there is a time when the product comes into the market, and there is a time when it is declined or decommissioned from the market. So how you will able to judge that? In order to understand the journey of the product, let's have, you can say, two-dimensional model. So on the x-axis you take time, on the y-axis you take investment and value on the positive side. So what will be the first step? But on what basis you will start working on the product? First of all, you need to carry out a user or market research, because you need to understand who are my competitors and who are my end customers. If you are not aware, then how you can get the requirement? So first of all, you need to understand what are the options available in the market and what are the needs and wants of the end customers. Based upon that, you will get the requirement, but it will consume a huge amount of investment. Investment in terms of money, you can say resources, effort, schedule, everything will be covered under investment. After this user and market research, you came to know what are my, you can say, requirements. but require. So now you have finalized the best approach to convert this requirement to finished product. After ideation, now your picture is clear. Means you have the requirement, you have the technology, you have the solution. Next step is your product development, in which your technical team will come into the picture, or you can say project team come into the picture, whose task is to convert this requirement into finished product or services. Once it is developed, then your product is entered into the market, which is called as introduction phase. Now your marketing, your sales, your supply chain teams come into the picture, in which they will do intensive campaign management and make the end users aware what they have created for you. With the help of pricing, with the help of availability in multiple channels, they become aware what you have created. After introduced into the market, now you are able to get the growth of the product. Means slowly, and customers pay, you can say, purchase your product, and then it will generate value to the client, whatever they have invested. After some time, you will reach the peak stage, when the volume of sales of your product is very high. But after some time, the market got stagnated, it fall to the maturity stage, means no further growth will be visible in the market. And thereafter, the last step will come up when you have to take a harsh decision to decline or decommission from the market. So if you join this, you will get a curve like this. But why this curve is coming? After peak stage, why it is declining? Because of these negative forces. Now, who are giving these negative forces in the market? Multiple factors are there. First is market competitors, because you are not allowed to do the business in the market. Your competitors are also there. They are not sitting idle. The moment you prepare some product, they also launch the product in the market. Second is technology evolution. Every technology is having certain life cycle time. The moment you build the product with one technology, it can survive with that much amount of time when the technology is there in the market. But whenever new technology is coming up, automatically you can switch to the new technology. Now your product becomes outdated. So it also created negative force. Third is your customer loyalty. Now what is this customer loyalty means? These days customers are very smart. They don't want to stick on their promises. Why? Because the moment your competitor sells something free, discounted or cashback, they can easily attract it towards your customer. And immediately they will lose their promises and the loyalty. And last, customer feedback. This is very common nowadays. If you don't care your customer, someone will else take away your customer. And when you lose the customer, you have to pay 6 times more to acquire a new customer. And you have to put a lot of efforts. So these are the few of the factors which create negative forces. And due to these negative forces, your life cycle time will be reduced. Means the idle time when you do the business in the market. This is the total duration in which you do the business in the market. That is called as product life cycle time. But if you care the customer, what will happen? You will get a curve like this, post-improvement curve. So now your life cycle time will be improved. So this is all about your product journey. Now what is the role of a project manager and what is the role of a product manager here? Project manager basically operate under this zone only. When you have the requirement and when you have to deal with the technical team. This zone between ideation to introduction, the project manager is involved. Whereas the person who is involved in 7 different phases, this person is called as product manager. Means one step beyond and 5 to 6 steps after go live. That's why product managers are earning more as compared to the project manager. Hope now it is clear the difference between product manager and the project manager.
Let's have another excellent. I would just wanted to say that was a very great representation to understand all of this. Like even after completing MBA, I wouldn't, as clearly define it as you have done wonderfully through this slide, and every element is so very clear. That is why we're definitely saying that product management is one of the hottest careers going around. And now won't take much of a time. We'll move forward, and I believe we'll move rapidly as people gain more and more insight about product management.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vijay. So now we have a fair understanding about the difference between project management and product management. Now we will discuss only about the product management. So first of all, you need to understand who is working in the product management role. Only product manager. So first of all, you need to have a clarity what product manager will do. So first of all, product manager used to create a product vision. Means why they want to create a product for which particular customer segment they want to create the product. What is their long-term goal? What they want to achieve from the end customer? How much value they are going to generate? So the vision should be there. Second, if you are going to prepare, you can say make a product, whether it should be fit for the right customer or not. Because after all, it should be consumed by the end customer. So it is the right product for the right customer or not. Then, once you decide the product is good and okay for a customer, then you need to create a business case and get it approved from the leadership team, because it involves a huge amount of investment. So business case should be prepared and get it approved by the leadership team for the implementation. There, once it is developed, after the signing of the business case and tested thoroughly, then you need to understand whether this product will be able to actually serve the need of a customer with the help of own field testing. Means you offer sometimes few copies of your product to the end customer and get their feedback. And thereafter you need to assign the prioritization of those features. Means you need to launch those features first into the market, which will give you 80% of the ROI. Means every feature of the product doesn't give ROI, but you need to launch certain features into the market which will give maximum ROI. That is all about your prioritization. And then certain products you need to create with the help of design thinking approach, in which you can make disruption into the market by providing innovative solutions. That will be achieved with the help of empathy. Means putting yourself into the shoes of a customer to understand their pain points and come up with an innovative solution. And lastly, once the product is made live, you need to ensure the state of health of your product. Means by capturing the data with the help of matrices, whether they are serving the need of a customer, whether they are available, whether they are maintainable, or you can say reliable. If these are okay, then your product is performing well. With the help of live reports, you are able to sense the, you can say, performance of the product. So that's the role and responsibility of the product manager. Now let's move deeper. What product manager do on day-to-day basis? How their time is going to spend? This is a snapshot. How much percentage of the time the product manager used to invest in multiple things? Basically, this you can say dark blue basically is the nominal time, minimum time, and this sky blue is for the maximum time. How much time they are going to invest? So, as a product manager, you need to invest minimum time in the meetings, because if you are going to invest maximum time in the meeting, then what value you are bringing on the table? And then maximum time they used to invest in managing the roadmap, how they are developing the product, how they are liaising with the stakeholders, and then on daily basis they need to evaluate the performance of the report, prioritization, and sometimes they need to deal with the customer request also, how they are going to improve in the future. And whenever you are getting the new requirement, again you need to spend a lot of time with the end customer. And simultaneously, you will need to get in touch with your user experience team and the testing team to ensure that every performance of the feature should be in the right direction. There should be no backlog to be created of problematic things. So that's the role of a product manager on day-to-day life. So you cannot say that product manager life is easy. It is very, very challenging on day-to-day basis.
Yeah, Priyank, I wanted to ask if you could probably put through an example so it's more easily understandable for young students. You know, all these, the requirements and everything. So if you could put them through an example, it'd be much better.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much. So the best example I can take here, like is, suppose if you are making a handset, like suppose if you are the product manager of the OnePlus 8 handset, you are making the OnePlus 8 handset in the market. Now suppose you have created the product, the handset OnePlus 8. Now just launching the product is not enough. As a product manager, you need to understand by taking the backend reports whether customers are satisfied or not, or you are getting the how much error reports from multiple subscribers. With that, you are able to capture the data, and then you have to carry out the thorough testing, releasing the patches so that customers issues will be resolved on time. And simultaneously, you are working with your technical team, or you can say user experience team, how you can optimize your current handset device by making changes in the software version. Because hardware, once it is set, you cannot make any changes. But you can optimize the software by putting the patches. This is how the product manager will come into the picture once the product is made into live. But before live, you have to do everything. But once it is made live, certain constraints will come into the picture. You can't do anything, but you have to optimize on certain parameters. Okay. Now coming to the skill set. Suppose if you are want to apply for the role of a product manager, what skills the HR or the recruiter is going to look into your profile? First of all, the HR or the recruiter basically require that you should have a domain knowledge of a particular industry or a particular industry segment. How much you are aware about the current industry, that should be there. What kind of functional skills you are aware of? Means stakeholder management, or you can say change management, that kind of hard skills you require. Then industry knowledge. If you are handling a particular product in the market, how many you can say competitors are there? How they are performing? What is their growth in the market? And what is the growth of that particular products compatible with a particular technology? Then you need to have a strong communication skills, because you need to interact with a lot of cross-functional team members, like stakeholder, you can say marketing team, sales team, supply chain, or you can say strategy team. So many teams you have to work on, because you are the CEO of the product and you are the senior person involved in taking the strategic decision of the product. So you need to have excellent communication skills within the organization. Otherwise, nobody will listen to your ideas, nobody will work on your suggestions, and nobody will care your solutions. And you should have an innovative approach. These days, only that product will be able to survive in the market if it is bringing innovation on the table. Means something you have to think out of the box, which creates the attention of a particular customer. Then you need to have a thorough understanding about the business skills, how you can generate money, how you can sustain for a longer period of time into the market, and what is the ideal time to launch a product into the market, because timing always matters. And how you can explore the how you can explore the opportunity in uncertainty. Just like if you are going to launch a product in COVID situation, what timing you require to launch a product so that you can cater the needs of an end customer. Integrity. You should be respectful to every team member, and you should have a confidence to bring disruption in the market, and you should have expert in networking between multiple teams. How you can bring the solution, and you care for the customer with the help of customer orientation. So these are the few skills which every product manager must possess in order to get selected or shortlisted in the CV screening round. And these skills will be tested thoroughly when you are appearing for the interview in front of the recruiter. Now, coming to the career opportunity. Suppose if you want to establish your career in the product manager role, so what kind of career opportunity should be there? Ideally, a lot of people are having misconception that for getting a role into the product manager, then you should do MBA. But that is not, you can say, mandatory. Without MBA, that you can also enter it. And most of the companies directly absorb you as an associate product manager. But if you do MBA and directly enter into the tech, you can say, companies, then they will directly hire you as a product manager. Usually, without MBA, if you join as associate product manager, then it takes 6 to 7 years to become a product manager. But with the help of MBA, you can directly absorb as a product manager. And then after spending some time, 1 year to 3 years, you become a senior product manager. Then you become a director, then VP, and then chief product officer, and thereafter you can become the CEO of the company. But these 7 verticals are basically not applicable for all the MNCs. If you join a startup, you directly hired as a product manager, then directly you become a chief product officer. So middle levels will be automatically removed. But for the big MNCs like Accenture and Deloitte and other companies, these 7-layer hierarchies are there. So you can say that after becoming a product manager, the doors are open to directly move into the leadership team. That's why there is a huge growth prospects in the product management, and especially in the IT and e-commerce companies. You can see 30% jobs are created every year due to this product management role. And people are really crazy to move into this particular role because of enough career opportunities. Okay. Now, how to get into the product management role? Suppose if you are a complete beginner, how you can move into this particular role? you have to learn certain new things. Like you should be expert in designing. You should have a data analytics approach. How you can work on the data, how you can analyze the data, and you should be aware about certain technology in which you are going to create a particular product, and you should have a thorough awareness about the business management, especially your marketing, sales, and supply chain. And then you should be aware how to deal with the technical team with the help of a understanding of the product management. And you should have a product mindset. Why you are going to create a product and what value you are going to generate. Now, once you have the desired knowledge, then you can apply during the colleges, or suppose if you are passed out, then you can apply your knowledge in applying in your internships. You can start working on the products and you can engage with solving the cases. Then your understanding will be more and you will be able to develop more confidence. And thereafter, you can apply for a jobs by you can say mentioning your projects, or you can say show your exposure what you did in your you can say the professional career or academic you can say projects by highlighting these in the resume. And you can interact with a lot of people, do the networking, arrange the meetups, join the communities, have thorough understanding what is going on in the market, and then you can land up with the corporate. So this is how you can enter into the product management. And lastly, what resources you require so that this will help you to land in the product management role. These are the few resources. These are the good resources, you can say. If you are really aspire and land into this role, then you can pick up any of the books. These are world famous books written by the best product management professionals. You can read any one of them, and definitely you can say ignite your passion to move into this particular role. Similarly, there are a couple of online courses out there in Udemy, LinkedIn, Coursera, and YouTube that will also help you to get a fair understanding, and you will get a flavor of working in a product management role. And there are a couple of videos also you can directly launch in your Silicon Valley and abstract the art of it. So that was the short, you can say, introduction about the roles, responsibilities, you can say resources, and how you can land your career into product. If you have any question, please let me know.
I think that was quite one heck of an explanation, certainly, and no, I believe that everybody knows more about product management, including myself, than I knew before, in spite of having a really close friend from this domain. Uh, uh, Guys, you can ask any questions, not just about product management. Priyank is an experienced mentor across fields for MBA grads. And if you have any questions, we'll probably, if you have something related to product management, we will take that first. And probably we'll also take some other questions because Priyank does a lot of mentoring.
Yeah, guys, you are open to ask any question.
Yeah, hello Priyank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask actually that I am from engineering background and
Yeah.
that from manufacturing sector. So
Okay.
I was interested into product management, but the roles are more suitable in the IT sector. So I was like bit confused that should I go for it because totally I am not having any knowledge of IT industry.
Okay, so first of all, you need to work on a couple of years for a project management role. And then while working on a particular project, then you have to understand how this particular product, whatever you are going to create, how you can interact with the business team. Slowly, you will develop those skills to interact with the business team, and that will help you to develop the confidence, and you can show us to land up into the product management role. Most of the people are basically doing this. They are not doing MBA, and also they have a fair understanding how to develop the revenue with the help of a particular product. That's also land up into a good product management role into the business. So industry doesn't matter. Where if you are supposed from polymer industry or chemical industry or you can say the textile industry, doesn't matter. The only matter is how you can drive the project from a technical team, how you can interact with the end customers, and how you can liaison with the cross-functional business team members to launch the product into the market, and how you can drive the, you can say, improvement initiatives. That the skills basically required by the recruiter to give you an opportunity to land into the product. Yeah. Any other question?
Hi Priyank, this is Prashant here.
Hi, Prashant. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You are also my alumni. I'm also from ISB. So thank
Okay,
you.
great.
So I want to know one more thing. Like I'm into consulting, but I'm doing this product management now for one of my startup I'm trying to doing. And I want to know like how to tackle this feature creep kind of thing. And when you are building from a very scratch, and when your team is very low or not that experienced, that you don't have a great designers, you don't have a great engineers. At that
Yeah.
moment, how to because if you are just visualizing the great features and ideas and innovations, but it's not being kept realized by the team because they don't have that capacity at this stage. So how to tackle that kind of situation in the product?
Okay.
I certainly believe because there is always a resource crunch even in big companies also. So how to
Yeah,
tackle that?
absolutely. So, in order to tackle that situation, you need to upskill or cross-skill your resources. Because if you have the resource constraint, then you have to utilize the same resources by upskilling them and ask you can say offer them to engage with the multiple stakeholders and you can say technical team and understand what is going on in the market. That is the best way to learn, and then they can apply in your product development. Otherwise, it's very difficult to you can say handle the situation.
And what about feature creep? Like you always want to get best features into the product, but suddenly it's been overwhelmed by the features, and product is being lost somewhere.
Yeah, but getting into the features first, you should require a thorough understanding. But you can say product can be prepared with the help of a particular technology. First, you have a thorough understanding about the technology. Suppose you are creating a suppose chatbot with the help of a particular technology. If you are preparing a chatbot with the help of a particular tool like the AI, then you should be aware what you can say AI can be beneficial for a particular product. Then only you can look into the feature and keep drive further.
Okay.
Hey Prashant,
Thank you, Priyank. This was helpful.
hey Prashant, I'm no expert at product, but yeah, Prashant, I'm no expert at products and product management certainly, but as you mentioned your constraints, I just picked up something from my senior leaders today, and what they actually said that diligence and passions more or less drives over excellence at times, and if I were to say tell something to you that if you drive your passion into your team, their competencies will not come to the fore, and it is that which will drive them to acquire them and deliver the product of that you desire and the product of your dreams. That
Yeah,
those would be my two
absolutely.
cents.
That was really motivational. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Am I audible? Yeah. Audible, yeah.
Yes, I wanted to ask this question is that what are the difference in a role that a product manager does in, let's say, an FMCG as compared to what he will be doing in an ITAS company, let's say like Wipro?
Can you repeat the question once again?
Sir, I wanted to ask the basically is that what is the difference in a role that a product manager usually does for an FMCG company when compared to an ITAS company?
Okay. So if you are in an IT company, then you can say the major focus should be on dealing with the technical team. Whereas in case of FMCG company, your more focus should be directly dealing with your business development team. That's you can say there is a major shift in their roles and responsibilities between the IT and the FMCG companies. And in the IT company, your role will become more diverse because you have so many competitors. And IT industry is the only industry which is highly, you can say, competitive. If you include all the startups, mid-scale, large scale, and you can say enterprise scales, you have around 300 plus competitors in the market. So your responsibility will be more challenging in the IT as compared to the FMCG.
All right, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you.
also, man, I would like to add that what happens actually in FMCG is that teams work very, very independently, and they have a lot of autonomy because the R&D works completely different, sales and brand work completely different. And there is a mix of a strategy team which send the insights to the R&D team which create products, and which is tested out. So they've worked fairly independently. What happens in an IT team is that the product creator and the product seller come from the similar background, and the user also relates to the kind of experiences. So it's very integrated in an IT plan, which, as Priyank mentioned, that it's a multi-dimensional role of a product manager. However, a product manager in an FMCG works only in the R&D side and takes over into a brand manager when it actually comes to bringing it to the market. So that's where these things differ a lot.
Absolutely. Thanks for adding that. Right? And that's why you can say the more you can say you have more liberty to work in the FMCG company as compared to the IT.
Hello, sir. This is Pratik.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, Pratik. Yeah.
Hi, sir. This is Pratik.
Yeah, Pratik. Yeah.
So I'll be starting my career as a business analyst. Previously, I have worked with Ericsson in technology consulting. So I want to transition from a business analyst role into a product manager role in future.
So what you actually do as a business analyst?
Pratim, please be on mute after the question. Please be on mute after the question. Young, I'll just add, Pratim has been newly recruited as a management trainee business analyst.
Okay.
And now he wishes to foray into the field of product management in future. I asked him to mute because there was a lot of echo from his end. So basically, he wants to proceed from in that direction. If I'm not wrong, he is also in Accenture.
Okay. So first of all, you require a couple of things. You can say you can pursue in order to move into the product management, because every product manager used to be expert in execution of the product via agile delivery method. So you should have a thorough understanding about the agile. You should have to develop the product mindset, and you should be expert in the design thinking approach. That three things will definitely help you to hone your skills, and it will definitely land you into the product management role eligibility.
Abhishek also had a question.
I think echo is coming again.
You're fine with it. Yeah, Abhishek, you can go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. So, I am presently doing my MBA. So, I'm looking for transitioning into product management role after my MBA, and I'm hoping to gain some kind of experience from internship. So I would like to ask, for gaining the initial experience, what kind of companies are good? Should I focus more on B2B kind of products or B2B products? And also, one more thing I would like to add. So since you're working in Accenture, and which is a service-based company, mostly service-based, so do you mostly work on internal products, or do you work on client products? Because this is something very new to me.
Okay, great. So to answer to your second question first, so I am basically working on the internal products of the Accenture. So I am basically involved in the digital strategy-based products within the Accenture, not for client specific. And to answer your first question, so what was the first question? Can you please repeat again?
So I wanted to know what kind, for someone who's starting out just now. So what experience would be better?
So first, if you want to get into, I should request you to start with the e-commerce based projects. Just like you can associate with the Swiggy, or you can say Zomato or Uber, that will give you fair exposure to move towards, you can say, associate as a product manager with the business development role. That will give you better chance to grow, you can say, well in the career. And basically, they used to hire the young, you can say talented graduates just come out of the MBA.
Okay.
But if you want to associate with the IT industry, they usually require 10 plus years of experience. But if you directly go for the FMCG or e-commerce company, they require minimum 3 to 5 years of work experience to offer you the role of a product manager.
Okay.
Yeah, so Abhishek, in the scope of an internship, I would like to tell you that there are a lot of good companies, complete startups, which are offering a lot of responsible product management intern-based roles. This has recently occurred to me while browsing on LinkedIn, and they're offering freshers into product management for internships and related roles. So it would be great for you to try there and get a lot of exposure from them, compared to a well established company which might have a lot of criterias, and then you can use that experience of your internship to get into a big shot company in your finals. You might face some constraints depending on your college and work experience as well as engineering background, but if you acquire valuable experience in your summers, I'm sure you can nail it in your career.
So, would it be wise to go for a bigger company, or matlab startup learning experience and learning curve would be a lot better,
Yeah, so
right?
for
But
summers, I would definitely say starter. For finals, it's completely your call, because in finals there are other factors also which will affect you in the longer run. But for
yes.
summers, I highly recommended for you to join startups for that matter.
So startup will be very good because you will get a good exposure. You are not working as a product manager, but you are going to handle the role of a chief product officer because you are the one person army and you can have a better liberty to take the decision. But when you move into the MNC, then there are a lot of restrictions coming into the picture and you have to deal with a lot of people to take some decision. But in the startup, you are the only person and you can directly lead the project and move the project in any direction.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Do we
Yeah,
have
anyone
any
else?
comments based questions? Yeah, I think that's it. Do we have any other questions, people? Okay. Being a newbie in the MBA journey, what should be a baby step in garnering knowledge base or becoming a product manager in the FMCG industry? Okay, Ayushi. So, as I mentioned in FMCG, Priyank, I'm hearing getting some echo from your end. Yeah, so Ayushi, what happens really in FMCG is that product managers are rarely recruited from the management side of things, and the ladder of FMCG, which they actually go for, is marketing, which they take from top tier colleges, and sales from relatively lower tiered colleges, tier two, and and depending on the type of company. So, product management is something that they don't really look at from MB colleges, because product management in FMCG is highly based on R&D, which is sorry. Product management in FMCG is highly based on R&D, which is done in labs and everything. So it's not really an MBA's job to do or get involved in product development. What MBAs get involved is in brand management, for which you can either get recruited as a management trainee or as a sales trainee in an FMCG, and where you can climb your ladder up in the next 2 to 3 years to become a brand manager rather than a product manager, because they work in the research side of things. Yep, that would be it from me. Any other questions we have for in general or in product management specific for Priyank? Right, I don't really think we have any more questions. We have had some real solid questions. Abhishek, can we get this deck? I think we will have a discussion with Priyank, and then we will get back to you. If you are a part of a community, we will obviously you will be the first person to know, and we will probably put it through Telegram or some other medium. We all have your contact details, so we will have a word regarding this, and take a call on that. So with that, I would, uh, Priyank, if you could stop your screen sharing. Yeah, good to see you big and full screen again. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your lovely insights, as well as detailed knowledge about the discipline as well as the skills required for it. Thank you so much, not just for doing this particular session, or as well as for being part of a community and being engaged in this journey of knowledge as well as exposure for all of us. Uh, Thank you so much. And again, Anchal also says thank you in the from her comments. Uh,
And I would also like to thank both of you, Achal, and you as well, for arranging this Power Dose session for, you can say, for complete week, and you are covering entire topics, and I am sure definitely the student community and the working professional definitely gain insight, and I wish you all the best for your program. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We will call it a day here at Power Dose Part 2 from Power Packed Week. We have sessions coming every day for this 1 week and try and get understanding of a new discipline tomorrow. So, see you then. Thank you.